concept of moving from hardware appliances to sort of virtual functions built on software running on commodity hardware. And SDN is this concept of decoupling the control plane from the data plane and running the control plane on a separate centralized controller, right? And both of these concepts are catching up today because it's easier to develop software appliances, it's easier to scale, and with SDN having the flexibility in the control plane logic makes it easier to change it. And there are several applications being considered for virtualization using SDN and NFV, including middle boxes, various middle boxes in enterprise networks, and also several appliances in telecom networks, including the LTE packet core. So this is what I'm going to focus about. So this is a brief overview of the LTE packet core, right? So you have a user that wishes to connect to the LTE core network via a base station. So when the user first turns on his mobile, an attach request, what is called an attach request to register, is sent to the network, which is processed by a certain entity called the MME, which sets up the packet forwarding state for the user. That is, sets up what is called a tunnel for the user's data. And then when the user sends the data, it goes through this tunnel. So as you can see, there are several entities here that process the user's request, and several messages are exchanged back and forth. So the LTE EPC, because of this complexity, is being considered an ideal candidate to see if we can gain any benefits from virtualization. So there have been proposals to use NFV and EPC to redesign, NFV and SDN to redesign the EPC. For example, you could take each of the appliances that I showed you on the previous slide and put them up as pieces of software running on a cloud, right? Or you could sort of redesign the system using the principles of SDN, where you could tear apart. For example, this what is called the serving gateway has been torn apart into a control and data component, with the control part sitting in an SDN controller and the data plane comprising of SDN switches. So there have been several proposals like this using the ideas of NFV and SDN to redesign the LTE packet core for 5G and future networks. Right, so this is where our project comes in. So the point is there are several proposals like this, but there's no sort of clear winner on which is the best design option to go about. And I'm sure you guys from industry know that there are several startups in this space and several trials going on. But what we feel in the academic community is there is not an open source implementation that lets us compare the performance of all of these designs. There are a few open source frameworks which basically focus on standards compliance and let you check for standards compliance. But there is no open source framework out there of the LTE packet core that lets you, that is multi-threaded, is a distributed version that can scale, that lets you actually compare performance in any realistic sense. Right? So this is where our project lies. So our goals are to basically develop several open source frameworks of the LTE EPC, one based on SDN, one based on NFV, one based on a mix of the two, whatever it is, right? Several design choices for the future LTE packet core, and build these in a way that they are modular, extensible, are built for high performance, for example, using multi-threading, using DPDK, using sort of performance enhancing features, so that they can be used to actually compare the impact of all of these ideas on the packet core performance. And I would like to state here that our non-goal is standards compliance and real life deployment. We are not building this to be actually used in any real network, but we are building this mostly to test performance on different candidate designs. So in that sense, we are not very particular about getting the header formats right and so on, though our code is mostly standards compliant, but not 100% compliant, because that is not one of our goals. So we have actually built a couple of candidates. One is the NFV based EPC. So we have this code out here for the MME, S gateway, P gateway, and we also have a simulator for the radio part of the network to simulate the user plus the base station, and also for the sync. And what you can do is You can simulate multiple users, give your own load profile, specify the behavior of the user. You can load the NFV-based EPC and test its performance, and you can simulate attach, detach, user sending traffic, and so on. Similarly, we all this one in the previous slide. Can you? Yeah. So I hope everybody had. I mean, if you couldn't see the slides, I'm not sure. I hope it was clear that what we're trying to do is build open source prototypes for the EPC, which focus on performance, so that it lets us test different types of designs to see how they compare on the performance angle, right? So maybe I'll skip the experimental section. Can you just Sujata, can you guys move on to the next few slides? Yeah, so what we've done is we've built two versions of the EPC, one based on NFV and one based on SDN. And both of these versions are still evolving, as I'll talk to you later. And I'll just show you some preliminary experiments that we had done with these, and to see the kind of questions that we're interested in answering. Right, so we've built these two, and this is sort of our setup information. We've deployed the NFV EPC on an OpenStack private cloud here, and the SDN EPC on OVS switches. Right, so can you just move on to skip the next two slides? Next slide, maybe. Yeah, and we've measured sort of the control plane, data plane performance. Yeah, you can go back to the. Yeah, so this is just some preliminary results. The next slide, please. Yeah, here. So this is some preliminary results that we have. For example, we find that when you measure control plane performance of attach, detach, and so on, we find that the NFV-based version does better, because for the SDN version, the communication with the controller, the centralized controller, becomes the bottleneck for control traffic. On the other hand, next slide, please. If you look at data plane performance, the SDN switches are much better at simply forwarding traffic than the NFV setup, and therefore we get much higher performance in the SDN design. So can you go on to the next slide? You can just press through a couple of times so that all the bullets come in. So what we're trying to say is, this is of course not the final word on any of the results. What we're trying to say is different design options give you different types of performance, and what is the best design for any particular network depends on the mix of the traffic expected and the specific implementation that is used. For example, if we change our implementation of the NFV-based EPC in some way to optimize its performance, that might get better, and so on, right? So different design options can change over time, and this is what we are banking on. We are expecting people to start using our code to write up their own design options, to code up their own designs and compare the performance, and have sort of like a spectrum of performance options out there for people to choose in the future, right? Next slide, please. So I would just like to end with giving you a sample of the kind of research we are doing using our code, right? So the whole point of building this piece of code and putting it out there is to let people do research on sort of different design options when it comes to NFV. So one particular question we are trying to answer is, so if you build something in software, if you build a virtual network function in software that is running on a multi-core VM, how do you distribute packets that are coming in into the machine to the multiple cores, right? So this is sort of a design question that everybody would face, and we would like to answer these kind of questions using our code. For example, if you look at this figure, to the left side of the figure, you can distribute packets directly from the NIC using the multi-queue feature of NICs and bind these queues to the multiple cores of a network function. Or you could take packets from a single queue from the hardware and then go ahead and distribute them in software, either at the layer of the switch or inside the VNF itself. For example, if you're using a kernel bypass mechanism, you could read the packet with DPDK and then distribute them to multiple cores of the application. So what we're trying to do is answer questions like which design option works well for what kind of VNF. For example, when building the MME functionality, one particular kind of design option might sound better, while building something else might sound better. So using our code, you can build up all of these things and then compare the performance of all of these design options. The other question we're answering is, on what basis do you steer packets to the various cores? The traditional way, for example, how RSS does in multi-queue NICs is use the TCP 4-tuple to distribute packets. So we are exploring, can you use the application layer semantics? For example, can you steer packets based on the IMSI field, the unique user identifier, so that packets of different IMSIs are bound to different cores and you can avoid locking across data structures. So all of these questions, I mean, even if the details are not clear, what I would like to stress is, when you are building a piece of software, either using NFV or SDN, there are several design options to consider, and using our code as sort of to build different prototypes across different designs and test them will actually let you draw good conclusions on which type of design is likely to sound good in the future. Next slide, please. So this is a link to our code on GitHub. So we've released 2 versions of the EPC, one based on NFV and one based on SDN last year, and we are also working on a few enhancements to the code. For example, for the SDN version, we're using hierarchical SDN controllers, and we're using technologies like DPDK, NetMap to build high-performance versions of the VNFs. We are using a user space network stack. We are testing our code for multi-core scalability, the kind of stuff that I talked to you on the previous slide. So we are building several design options out here. So again, even though our code is not standards compliant, fully standards compliant, you can test out different design options on these prototypes and then scale it up to production use later on. So that is where we feel is our value add in helping you choose different design options for the future LTE packet core. So that's all are the slides I have for today. So if there are any questions, I'll be happy to take them. Or please feel free to get in touch with me offline if you're interested in what we're doing or you have any other questions. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, there is a question from the room.
Hi, I'm sorry. I had a basic question with regard to the RF portion of your LTE base station. I know previously you had posted a simulator for the RF portion of your LTE. Is that going to be released?
Sorry, for what portion?
For your LTE, for the eNodeB? I thought you had...
So that simulator is sort of part of our code as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is along with, because as the code gets updated, the simulator might also get updated with more features. So I have not specifically mentioned it, but the RAN simulator and the sync kind of come along with the EPC code.
Okay.
And we are working on sort of high performance load generators, designs there as well. So, thanks.
I have one quick question. In one of your initial slides, you mentioned that you are looking for some SDN-based packet. Have you looked at an open source project called Mobile Card, MCard, which is pretty much addressing the same needs that you are looking for, where they're disaggregating the packet core and even at the radio level? Any explorations on that front have you done?
Yeah, so we have sort of looked at MCOD, but we have not actually installed the code and played with it. So this project had started, I think, predated the release of code from MCOD. So yes, that is on our agenda to kind of compare with that and see what are sort of differences, if any.
Okay, one more question.
Yeah, do you see any need in any of the EPC nodes to have dynamic executions, so like that might be good for a container environment where a session was start and stop depending on some activity?
I didn't fully get your question. Dynamic execution in the sense of?
Yeah, like to spin up a container to follow some user activity and then tear it down.
Okay. Yeah, so we have not explored those kind of designs yet. So right now the number of VMs is fixed. So what we are doing is sort of working on this auto scaling aspect, where if the load increases, you spawn a new VM, and how do you connect it up with the rest of the ecosystem. So that kind of stuff we are looking at, but we have not looked at it from the container angle. I agree that that's much more agile, but we have not yet gone there.
Does the node workload, do you see that it might align to that architecture? Is there something about unique, either the MME or the serving gateway, that would align to that?
So far, no, we have not thought in that angle. So far we've just thought things change on a slower time scale, so there's enough time to spawn a VM. But yes, if the load is very dynamic, we would have to. So I would say that no, we haven't thought about it, but yes, that's a good angle that we should look at in the future.
Thank you. Okay.
Thanks. So I think there's also some comment in the chat about the CC NUMA work. Yes, so with respect to CPU affinity, yes, we've sort of looked at NUMA support and all that. I'll follow up more offline on that. Thanks.
I had a quick question. This is from Santa Clara.
Yeah.
I see that there are a couple of other open source projects on this. They had actually combined the SP gateway. In your design, do you keep them together, or are they separated out?
Right now we keep them separate, but the functionality is mostly similar. So if we want to have a design with them combined, I think that should be easy to do.
And also, a lot of these projects are exploring new tunneling mechanism, not exactly go by the old 4G mechanism.
Yeah,
Is there any directions you guys are looking at?
No, right now we are not looking at that. So as I said, right now we are looking at only a few specific questions, but yes, all of these are possible things to do with our code in the future. Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks.